Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So I've got a DIY I'm going to do. So I've started planning it out, which is why my desk looks the way that it does. And I just stopped myself and I said I should be filming this to share with all the planner people, because when I do things without filming it, I get so many questions. So it's just easier to just film it. That way you can see what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. So I'm going to make more tab dividers, but I'm going to do side tab. I'm going to do probably side and top. Okay, so recently, I will relink these videos down below if you'd like to see them, but I made these with the side tabs with the paper, I believe is from Back to the Source, and the side tabs are from Pink Monarch Prints. These are printable shops on Etsy, and I printed these on vellum, and then I put these tabs on. Oops, and I just love them. They're so pretty. And then the top tabs are made with sterling ink vellum, and I just laminated them. So that's what I'm going to do. These are all sterling ink, and I'm thinking of making side tab dividers with the sterling ink. I'm debating on whether to just do the clear tabs like this or do nice chunky tabs with these. These are from Pink Monarch Prints. And I think that they match pretty well with the new floral, like the new vellum that I bought from Sterling Ink. So that's what I'm doing. So right now what I'm going to do is cut them, measure them, cut them, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with the tabs. I'm really liking having the smaller tabs because it's not crowded here with my pen, and it just looks so nice. When I had my chunky tabs, it was quite chunky, which, I mean, makes sense because I had big chunky tabs, and I love the look of the big tabs. But I'm feeling like I like the feel of the smaller tabs better, actually, now that I've been using them. So the question is do I do these tabs, or do I do regular tabs with the actual paper, just nice and clear, clean and pretty? Yeah, that is what I need to decide on. So so there's gonna be 6 sections. So I did figure 6 tabs. So I was thinking these would be 1 tab. These would be 1 tab, right? Just a mixture. And then these would be 1 tab. Maybe since I have 2 florals, this will be that side. This will be another tab. Okay, and then this would be another tab. These are kind of the same, although they're shaped differently. So then I'll probably do the floral on the front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th tab would be this one. What I didn't like when I had my big chunky tabs is I could only fit 4 in a row, and then I had 2 behind. Another reason why I like these smaller ones is I can have all 6 in a row. I do like that. I like that a lot, because I found when I had just 4 bigger tabs, then the other 2 were sort of just floating in the back. So I do like them to be in line. So I mean, I still could do that if I layered them, right? So we'd have, let's say it would be like 1, and then we'd have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Do we like that? I mean, they wouldn't look exactly like this because there would be papers. There would be like chunks of papers in between. And then I was thinking I don't really need to double up on these, but then when you flip it over, then it would be just white, and I don't like that. So then I'm like, okay, so I do have to, unless I cut them, I could cut them and do like a half. Ooh, I just thought of that. And do a half circle. Huh. So that would give 4 half circles. And then I could do 2 of the rectangular ones. Okay, okay, okay. And then they would match more. What do we think about that? So if it's half, I think I like that idea. Now the only thing, okay, so here's another thing. So I've got this one and this one. So this would be, so I could make 2 personal wides out of these. So that's 2, 4, although I don't want, so if I did do that, I would do 1 side tab, 1 top tab, right? Side tab, top tab. And then I have this one and this one, because I'm thinking these would be great for summer, right? And then I have some that I feel would be better suited for fall. So this is definitely better suited for fall, and same with these because they have little pumpkins. So these would be good for fall, so I'm not going to do those right now. So I'm just going to set those aside. I think this one would be good for fall as well, just because of the dark colors. Like there's no pink, there's no flowers really. So those would be good for fall. And this, I feel that this could go for fall or summer. Although that's like a not a sunflower, a daisy. And daisies aren't around in the fall, I don't think. So I have this, I mean, I could do 1 of each of these. So gorgeous, but it won't match my pink planner. So these, I'm sitting on the fence with those. I'm gonna set those aside for now. I do have these. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so I for sure have 3 side tabs. 3 plus this is 4. Plus this is 5. Okay, and I do already have this one in here. It's one of my, is it the first one? Yes, it's this one here. It's my first top divider. Top tab divider, right? So I already have that. So this could be a side tab, which is, I don't mind that I would have double of that. And this is the same one, just without the elements behind it. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5 for side tabs. I need 1 more. So then that brings me back to this one. And I don't know, I feel like because of the colors, it could go for fall as well. But I don't know, I want things to match, I want things to be matchy-matchy with my planner. So that's why I'm not 100% sure with this one. Maybe, you know what, maybe. It's still pretty. It's still pretty. I'm just gonna like do it. I'm just gonna stop overthinking it. So then the question is, so then this color tab would go well with this. The pink ones would go well with the ones that have pink. And those are these 2 and possibly this one as well. Yeah, possibly this one as well. Ish. Or one of these. I feel would go. Or this. So my only dilemma, the only dilemma that I have, the only thing kind of stopping me is, do I do the clear tabs? I love how this looks on the top. And then with my label maker, I could label them later if I want, or I can just leave them blank. I don't even have to label them. Like, how pretty does that look? Right? I'm probably gonna be taking this out and do a different top tab divider, because this would be good for fall. Okay, so yeah, I really like the clear aesthetic of that, and I might do that on the side. What do we think? And And then I'm thinking maybe these are not suited for the vellums. Maybe these are better suited for, let me show you. In case you're new here, I will do a flip of this. I had a request. I will do a flip of this. This is all my stuff. But here's how it looked the first time I did them with the big chunky tabs. I apologize for the light. It's almost 10 p.m. so I don't really have great natural light. And so I'm thinking I would redo these, but print these on vellum, because these really bulked up my planner. They're quite thick. So I think I would redo these, but on vellum. So that's a project for another time. Because these are printables from Etsy, so I still have these. I can reprint them. But look at how pretty these look. I just love them. So I feel like they're better suited for the paper that came with them. The shabby chic, vintage, floral look. And they don't really go with the sterling ink theme is not shabby chic and vintage, right? You know what? I think I've just decided I'm not going to use these tabs. See, I just needed to talk it out with you. Thank you. I know through the screen you're probably like, girl, you could have figured that out on your own. All right, let's find what I'm going to use to trace. I need, let's see here. I'm just going to use this because it's the right size, the right height. And then I'm going to use these. I've shown these to you before. These are Pandora boxes. I have an addiction to Pandora jewelry. Pandora. My earrings are Pandora. And the boxes are so pretty. So I think, you know what? I'm not going to throw these boxes away. I'm going to keep them. So I have this labeled planner tabs and the other one is like paper. Okay, so I could use, so how I made these top tabs is I traced these. And these are from Muji, which I've had for a couple of years. Bought them at the Muji store in Toronto when I was there in 2019 for the planner conference. And I bought them because they're so stinking cute, although I haven't used them yet. So what I did was I put them here and then I traced around them. So I can use these for the side tabs. Or I could do the round ones. No, I'm gonna stick with these and have it consistent because I am gonna still use some of my, like I'm gonna keep this, right? And so then they just won't match. So let's keep it simple. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna open up my computer here so that in case my husband texts me, he went to pick up a lockbox from a house that we sold. So in case he needs something. Okay, so when you laminate, one thing that I have learned is that there's a bit of a, so underneath your actual, or not underneath, but your actual paper, when you measure your paper, what I wasn't doing was accounting for the extra of the laminate sheet, right? So there's a little bit extra here, a little bit extra here. So when I do my lines, I hope you can see this. So instead of trimming based on the end of the laminate sheet, I'm going to trim, or not trim, but I'm going to trace how do I explain this? Oh, this probably isn't making much sense. But I'm lining up the bottom of the actual vellum of this with this, and not, and there's overhang of the actual laminate. I hope that makes sense. Same with on this side. So there's quite a bit of overhang here because I want to measure it so that it's the same size when I laminate it. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now there is a bit of overhang here, so I'm just gonna have to do my line. I'm gonna have to do my line over here so that I know to trim along this line. Okay. Now, when I do that, so now I need to decide which, I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I was gonna say, which tab's going to be my first tab, my personal section. So this was my first top tab. Was it? Yes, this was my first top tab. So what paper do I want to be my first section? I think I will do this one. I just realized that, like, I need to make sure. I'm probably going to use this one twice because I love that pink flower there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is exactly what I just explained. This one here, I did trim it all the way down so there's no overhang. That's the beauty of when you use vellum. If you trim, if you cut it, it won't split. So that's a cool thing. So here's going to be my tab. And now I need to decide. I put it just under the lip of where the vellum is going to go. So I need to decide how far out they're going to go. Let's compare it. Oh, that's quite far out. Let's compare it to these ones because I don't want it to stick out too much and interfere with my pen and how I close my binder, right? So if I were to have them all like that, like look at how much overhang there is. That's significant. So I don't want them to be that big. So if I do that, it's a little bit bigger than the tab, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that will be nice. Or do I want it to be even smaller? Because it does kind of overhang a little bit there. This one is taller than the rest because I didn't measure it properly, and it's not a huge deal. It doesn't. Yeah, I think that's okay. That's still lower than this one, so I think we're good. I hope this is making sense and I'm not going too fast. I just don't want this video to drag on. I want to make sure that you're getting what I'm picking up, what I'm putting down, as it were. Okay, where did my sticky tabs go? If you hear that, I've got my fan on. If you hear that humming, when I film, you guys, it's probably from the lights. The light of my tripod, but I get really warm. Okay, so, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I put it on here, but no, actually that's good. Because now that I know where I want it, just in case, I will cut it down here. And then I will figure that part out later. Do you know what? Instead of cutting it here, I'm going to cut it on the bottom because I want to have that flower in there. Okay, so now I've given myself lots of room to play with the tab. So I'm gonna cut them all like that. I'm gonna use this as my new template now, but let's just see. Let's grab one of these. Why don't we grab the first one actually? Since this will be the first divider. And I will use this as a template. this underneath to see where I want it. I want it just a tad higher. Good. And then I will trim that and trim around that. That way I know how far down to go. I'm gonna go down a little bit more under the edge because of there's like that overhang for the laminate. So my actual sheet will, yeah, I think that's good. Well, you know what I can do? I'll trim it on the back. I'll trace it on the back. There. So what I'm doing is I want to account for this like millimeter of overhang because when I laminate it, it's actually going to be wider than the sheet. So I just need to make sure that that's how I'm trimming it. There. Okay. There. So you have to account for this overhang as well. Right? So I'm measuring the tab based on this because there will be extra once it's laminated. So now that's going to be exactly where this tab is. I'm going to move it up just a tad. I'm fussing around with this one a lot because once this one is done, this will be my template, and then it'll be pretty easy after this. Okay, I actually forgot about this one. This vellum is from the subscription kit from, I think, is it March or April? June. This one is from June. So I'm gonna use this one, and then there's this one too. So far, I have this one, this one, this one, and this one. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 5. And I think this is going to be 6. I do have this as a top tab. Which one is it? This one. And it's just gorgeous. So I think I'm gonna do that again. Just trying to think, do I have that? I thought I had that one without the elements. Oh, that's this one. Okay, that's this one. Yeah, okay. Oh, I love this one so much. And I'm still not sure if I should do this one because it's very summery, but it doesn't really match, but I still might. Okay, back to it. Okay, so here they all are, 6 side tabs. The only thing I don't like is this one. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this one kind of has a yellow, a yellowish tinge to it. Like these are white, and this one looks more yellow. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's this one without the elements, and this one doesn't really, I guess it is kind of yellow. So I'm a little iffy on that. All right, so here, these are gonna be side tabs. This is that same one, and it doesn't pull yellow once I laminate it, so it's probably gonna be okay. So let's see, I'm just gonna take out my tab dividers actually, because I do want them to be cohesive, so I wanna see what tabbed divider, or top tab dividers do I have, just to make sure that they all match. So I only have 4 topped tab dividers. Definitely keeping this one, definitely, and this one, because they have the pink purpley tones that I like. So those are the first 2. Okay. I love this one, so I think I'm gonna keep that one. I'm not in love with this one. Once I made it into a divider, I liked it more, and I do like how the flower layers. I'm just not a fan of the big pear and all the green, but it is pretty. It still is pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. Do I have a side tab for this one here? Did I not have? I don't think I have. I know I didn't use it all. Where is it? Found it. I just didn't realize that I hadn't pulled this one out yet. So I could use the same one, or I could use the one without the elements. Because if my top tab has the elements, it would make sense that the side tab wouldn't, or another top tab wouldn't. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. And I could, if I wanted to replace this, I could do this as a side. It's so gorgeous. Let me see. So these are my, oh, they're so pretty. Okay, so top tabs would be these 2 and this one and this one for top tabs. Okay, so I've got them all cut. I cut this one out to be my last top tab because I have this as a side tab. So I feel like for continuity, I should have another one of these, but I am tempted. So these are gonna be, and because this one has some orange in it, right? And then I have these 2, but I am tempted to do this one as a top tab instead. But for now, I'm gonna work on my side tabs and I'll come back to that. So my first one is this one. So now what I'm going to do is line them up. I'm going to line them up and do my tabs, so that when I cut them, like when I do my trimming, they will all line up. Guess I should go back a little bit further so that I can see, because I want them to be just one right after the other. So this is going to be my top tab, my first top tab, which will be in my what section is this one in? My CEO section. Okay. Is that my CEO section? Okay, let's worry about that later. Okay. See what I did there? I put it on the one I've already done. Oh, that's awesome. This one, here we go. That is hilarious. All right, so I changed my mind on the, which one was it? This one here. It's beautiful, but I think to me, it feels like fall. So I switched to this one. Okay, so they are all lined up for the tabs. Perfectly. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. So I've got my first tab there, and then the second tab, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And I'm noticing this is not going right up until the edge, so I do have to do some maneuvering. And then I think it was the second one is just a tad bit crooked. So I want to get them 100% right before I grab my pencil to trace it, because I don't want to cut it. I don't want to cut it crooked. That's for sure. It's very tedious. Okay, that's better. Yep. This is a tad bit crooked as well. Perfect. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but these two are farther apart than these two. So that I don't like. Okay, that's better. Yep, that's better. And this one was a tad bit crooked. Perfect. All right, guys, now the time has come to start trimming. And then I will use this as a guide once it is trimmed. So I already have my line there. I just wanted to see it again, make sure that it is correct. Tab number 1 is done. Okay. Yep, that's perfect. Wow, that's perfect. So there's a little bit you can see here. The vellum paper is not as wide as this one because of the laminate. Because once I laminate it, it will be, and I trim it, it will be the same size, the same width. Okay, so yeah, so I've got a little bit of overhang on both sides as well as the top. I'm very happy with that. So now I'm going to use this to trace where to cut. Okay, and I'm going to do that on all of them. So I'll just take a little pause here. So I put the lines here on where to trim, and then I traced around the tab. So I'll have to cut that part by hand, but with my paper trimmer, I just have to go by feel and get as close to the tab as I can without cutting through it. And then that way I don't have very much. Yeah, that one I went right to the tab. And this one I almost did. That way it's not much to trim here at all. So I went around and I erased any remnants of any pencil. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And they pretty much are the same height. And it's very close that they have the similar gap in between. Like it's pretty even. I'm pretty happy. It's not perfect, but it's close. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. All right, I think it's time to laminate. I am so excited. Let's just double check one more time. I'll use this. That they are the proper, yeah, good. Okay, before I laminate, actually, I'm gonna round my corners beforehand. Because then when I laminate them, I'll be rounding the corners again. So then you'll see here that the paper itself is rounded, and then so is the laminate sheet. So it wouldn't look right if the edges were pointy, but the laminate was round. Making sure that these don't have any eraser on them before I run them through the laminator. So I've had my laminator for about the last 15 minutes, I think, heating up, warming up. So I'm only going to need right now 3 sheets because there's going to be 2 in each. So for the first one, I put it in as close to, like, as far in as I can. I probably won't even need to trim that. Actually, let's... But not too close because I don't want there to be any bubbles. So I don't want to go too close. But I do like to try and match them as best I can. Okay, so that's how it looks. So I'm going to speed this part up and I'm going to get them all laminated. So here they are laminated. So this is how they look before I trim them. And so now I'm going to trim them. Okay, so they are all trimmed. So what I'm doing is just seeing if any are shorter. So this one is shorter, so I need to trim down. I think I trimmed too much off this side. Yes, I did. Because some of them have a bigger, like this one definitely has a bigger, what do you call it? Like a bigger lip, for lack of better words. So I'm trying to get them as even as I can. Okay, that's a little better. I feel like this second one, yeah, this one needs, so you can see how much overhang there is. It's hard to tell because we're working with vellum here, which is very transparent. It's almost the same color as the laminate. So that's the second one, put that in there. I've had to stop my, if you notice the inconsistency with when it stops, well, you may not because I'm speeding a lot of this up. But yeah, I had a phone call, so I stopped filming while I was doing this. So I figured the scraps from making these tab dividers, I thought, you know, instead of throwing them out, I just laminated them. So some I'll use for bookmarks, like in books, but I may put holes in them and use them as a page finder. Not really sure what I'm going to do with these yet, but whatever, if I use them in my planner at all, they will match. They're so pretty. So anyways, that's just an extra. So I'm very happy with my tab dividers. Very happy. This one is still looking a bit yellow. That I'm not. We'll see how I feel once I have them in my planner. So let's round the corners and then I'm going to punch them. I am so happy with these. They are exactly the same size. The holes all line up. They are even up here. They're not perfect as far as the gaps in between, so some of them are wider. But you know what? This is probably the best that I've done so far making my own dividers, and I'm very happy with it. And every time I do this, I learn a little bit more about how to be more precise for the next time. So yeah, I love these. This one we'll see. I may replace this one, but otherwise I love them all. I'm very happy with these. So those are my side tabs. So now I need to decide what I'm going to do with the top tabs. This one is staying. It matches this one, I believe. Yep, same flowers, just this doesn't have the elements behind it. So that is staying. This one is staying. This one is the same as this one. So that is staying. So that's 2. And then it's a question of if this one is staying. I do not have that one in here. So let's see. This is the same as that one. So I think for fall, maybe for fall. So I'm going to keep the tab on there because then I will, when fall arrives, then I will have it ready. Do I have that one in here? I do not have this one. I do have this one, however. This one is one of my favorites. This one was in was it June? And I also have it as my marker for this week, except this one has the background with the lace. It is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. I love it. So I think I will use this one for a top tab. What else? That one is going to be for fall. Maybe this one. I just am obsessed with this one. But then that's 2 top tabs of the exact same pattern. So no, I probably should have done that as a side tab, but that's okay. So then it comes down to these 2. I only have one of the birds. All the other ones blend, right? They all look. So maybe if I have a top tab of the birds, yeah, I think a top tab of the birds, because I already have 2 of this one. I have this one. I don't have a top tab, but I have this one here. So these are the same. As much as I love this, I still might use it. I'm going to keep it there. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one as a top tab. So then I've got these 2, and then this one, and then do I want to do this? I think I do. I'm obsessed with this one. But then I was like, should I save it and use it for something else? But then what am I saving it for? I can always buy it again. It's like $2.50 or something. I can always buy it again. So yeah, I think I will do these 2. Oh, but I love this one too. That'll be having this pattern in there 3 times. So it's these 2 tabs that I need. I could trace them. Here's this one. And then where is the other one? You know what I was thinking? I could use this one without the flower, right? Like I could trim it right here so you don't see any of the orange and you just see these beautiful like bluish gray flowers. But then that's kind of boring, isn't it? It's pretty though. Okay. So pretty. Okay. So these 2 I am keeping. Where did the other one go? This. Okay, so these 2 I'm keeping. So I need to trace All right, my top tabs are done. I love it. Oops, they're in the wrong order though. Here we go. So that is my first one. Second one, so those two I already had, and then I added these two. I think this is going to be just lovely. So I'm going to be setting my binder up for August with all of these. It is the 25th of July right now. So yeah, so stay tuned to see how this looks with my new side tab dividers as well. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and seeing my process. Where are my dividers here? This was a long video, so I hope you're still with me. If you are, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm really looking forward to everything being cohesive in my binder. Because one thing I've noticed, like as much as I'm loving the junk journal look and vibe, I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. I find I also love the sterling ink, and it just doesn't match. It doesn't match, and that's been bothering me. So that's why, and I've been thinking about doing this for quite a while, so I'm glad I finally did it. So I'm gonna have all these gorgeous florals as dividers in my binder. So yeah, stay tuned to see how it all looks. I'm so happy with this. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. One thing I do like, this Jane's Agenda page finder is amazing. It's very thick, and when my binders close, I have no problem whatsoever finding today because this sticks out. But there are times where I don't want today, I want my weekly task list. But because it's like so dominating. And so this isn't as tall. So I'm thinking of replacing this with something else. Having something else where it's not so high and so hard. So if it's the same texture and strength as the vellum, then it won't overpower the other dividers. That's what I'm thinking. It'll probably be this one because this one's my favorite, but yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking. So stay tuned for that. I've also been thinking of maybe moving this instead of having something in my today or my weekly, moving this to today and not having this at all. And then cutting slits so that every 2 days I'm moving this along. So then I just go here to find today. And then it's not a huge deal if I have to flip back to my weekly dashboard. So I will figure that out and fill you guys in once I have decided. If you have any questions, let me know. I will tag Sterling Ink's shop down below in case you would like to take a look at her shop and see all of the gorgeous vellums to choose from that she has. And I think at the beginning of this video, it was over an hour ago, I said I was going to link video below, so I will do that. I'll have to watch it back when I do my editing to see what video that was. Yeah, have a great day, you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.